How's it going everybody? Welcome back to SwitchStars. My name's Luke, and today on the channel we're taking a look at Flight Attendant Simulator Onboard Tasks, an apparently true-to-life simulator game which has you engaging in the day-to-day responsibilities of a flight attendant as you advance through the ranks and progress your career. With its so-called dynamic gameplay and immersive flight experience, you might be thinking that this one would offer an exciting insight into the life of cabin crew. But in actuality, it's by far the most pointless simulator game that I've ever played, and that's saying something because I have played some absolute shite in my time, but this one definitely takes the biscuit when it comes to low effort attempts. So let's jump right on into it, shall we, and see why you should under no circumstances purchase this pathetic excuse for a game. So right off the bat then, no expense spared with the main menu, we get a picture of a plane and an options menu featuring a 2-button control scheme, which already probably gives you an idea of what level of gameplay you're in store for here. And we also get a shop where you can customise your character, but we'll get onto that one shortly. Upon starting the game, we can see we have 4 different airliners we can work on, and I initially thought that the plane icon at the bottom of each of these was the difficulty of them. But it is in fact the number of flights you need to complete with them to progress on to the next one. Getting into actual gameplay though, the loop of each flight is split into 3 different segments. You have the takeoff phase, in which you're tasked with completing various pre-flight preparations, which includes stowing luggage away in overhead compartments, locking doors and helping people fasten their seatbelts, and there's a flight panel with red and green lights which indicate how many of these you need to complete before you can take off. Once in the air, you're then tasked with catering to the demands of the passengers. Or should I say fucking mutants, because the developers of this game have made no effort whatsoever to ensure the skins of these passengers actually fit the faces, and have instead just plastered them onto whatever model they were using. Ultimately, this leaves you with a plane full of terrifying freaks to serve. I mean, just look at some of these fucking monstrosities. We have melty-faced Emo with his too small tank top, Steve Jobs over here craning his head like a fucking ostrich, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy. But the black fellas on the flight are the only ones that look semi-normal. That is, of course, if you can ignore the massive bulging eyeballs. But saying this, they could have just been modelling them after the various eye-popping world record holders, several of which just so happen to be black. Anyway, they're all creepy as fuck, especially the way that they crane the neck to look at you. But here's how the gameplay in this section goes. Passengers requiring your attendance will have a question mark above their heads, and these don't appear dynamically, no, they all just pop up right at the start of the flight. Speaking to each passenger reveals what they require, and this ranges from food or drink to books and medical treatment. But you simply have to head to the back of the plane, retrieve the desired item, and then return to the passenger, handing it to them by selecting the appropriate option from the context wheel. After which they will gobble up the food and drink, scoffing down Muller fruit corners or gulping coffee like the ugly little piggies that they are before tossing the rubbish at the feet. And like the little trash bitch you are, you can choose to fish it out from beneath them for a little extra cash. I found the medical treatment to be particularly amusing though, as you administer pills to passengers from the in-flight stash and they neck the entire bottle without question. During the flight, you may also encounter exceptional situations, such as turbulence which causes baggage compartments to open and spew the contents out into the aisle, fires or power outages. But the only ones that really matter are the fires, which require you to retrieve an extinguisher and put them out within a set time period, after which you just close up the compartment and continue on as if nothing ever happened. After a set period of time though, the tannoy will then announce that landing is about to commence, and at this point you will usually have to stow away some more baggage and help some more fucking morons do up their seatbelts before returning to your own seat. Upon landing, you'll then be presented with a results screen detailing how many passengers you helped, how many were satisfied and unsatisfied, and how much money you actually earned. Now, that is it. That is the entirety of the gameplay loop with this one. is incredibly fucking dull and as unrewarding as they come. And you may be thinking, but Luke, what about the shop that you mentioned? Well, although you can purchase some new outfits for your character, change their hairstyle and even swap out their eyeballs, none of this actually matters as the entire game is played in first person, so you never actually get to see any of this. To make matters worse though, you don't even need to actually play the game. After completing the pre-flight tasks and taking off, you can just then stand there and do absolutely nothing as web-fingered freaks wave at you and attempt to get your attention, and the only thing you need to worry about is putting out the fires. But each flight lasts about 8 minutes, and after completing the landing tasks, you'll still be rewarded with a decent amount of cash for your efforts, or lack thereof as the case may be. The only thing that actually changes between flights is the number of tasks you need to complete, and the only thing that changes between airlines is the interior of the plane, with the second plane having terrible lighting causing your skin to turn grey and making the mutants on board all the more terrifying. But there's simply nothing to be enjoyed about this game, and I'd rather go peasant class on a 15-hour EasyJet flight to Magaluf whilst sitting next to a crying baby and a fat sweaty Karen than sit through another minute of Flight Attendant Simulator. That though is about it for this review, so I do hope it helped you out, and if it did, drop a like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content. But for now, thanks to the patrons of the channel for their ongoing support, and to you the viewers for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and game on.